So, John, I'm interested in your long-term plan here, right? We've seen Cisco really shift away from consumer-facing products. Your CTO, Padmasree Warrior, told me a month or so ago, look, the company's strength is in enterprise and in service provider segments. Is Cisco going to be a customer-oriented, consumer-facing company in 3 years, John?
Probably not, Poppy. If you look at where we're going and you look at our market segments we're in, the service provider segment is about 35% of our business, commercial is about 20%, enterprise is about 20%, and public sector is about 20%. So you can begin to see how the makeup occurs. The areas that are growing most rapidly, and actually are an indication is the economy going in a right way or the wrong way, our enterprise business on a global basis is growing 11%. Interestingly enough, in the U.S. it's growing at 15%. And our commercial business around the world is growing at 12%. In the U.S. it's growing at 24%. So I tend to watch those trends in terms of the economy, but it speaks how Cisco's transformed itself. If you will, the Cisco franchise, we've moved from selling plumbing, which I'm honored to do, and it's very profitable, to working with our customers to solve their business solutions through intelligent networks.
Earlier this year, John, you said Cisco is going to be aggressive in going after HP and Juniper in terms of big competitors there. What's your strategy now against HP specifically with Meg Whitman at the helm?
Well, first, Meg is a friend and Ray Lane is a friend. It's hard for the fifth CEO to come into a scenario in high tech and turn it around. That's never happened before in the history of the industry. So as a competitor, it's going very well for us. We're taking share in our switching. Our switching is growing very well, but also we're taking share in the data center from their servers. We grew 120% this last quarter, and a large part of that we took from HP, and that's year-over-year type of numbers. We sell solutions. They tend to sell in products. Same thing with Juniper. We're starting to pull away from them. They're a very good company, but you're beginning to see us attract people from them. You're beginning to see us outline to the service providers how we help the service providers make money, not just sell them routers or switches.
It sounds like you're saying, you know, Meg Whitman's a friend no matter how strong of an executive she is. Given the situation at HP, you don't believe she's going to be able to turn it around. Is that the case?
I think if anybody can turn it around, May can, and Ray Lane, their chairman, is a very, very good guy. That is hard and heavy lifting. So as a company, it's like 2001, Poppy, when you and I talked about it, when there was Nortel, Lucent, Alcatel, Siemens, Ericsson, all of them were bigger than us going into that time period. 2 years later, we were bigger than them. It'll be interesting to see if we're able to do the same thing again, catch a market in transition, out-execute the existing players.
So, John, you've been leading the call for a tax holiday here in the U.S. for corporate profits made abroad. I think the latest numbers you gave said Cisco had some $40 billion overseas. And you've also issued a stern warning saying, look, the U.S. needs to change its tune on repatriation, or you say we could get left behind. I'm wondering what that means. Could we see a company like Cisco just leave the United States?
Well, what you could see, Poppy, is the United States used to dominate world business. 18 of the top 20 companies were U.S. Now you're down to 2 or 3. Our policies have fallen behind. Our tax policies were designed before Microsoft even went public. Every other developed country in the world brings back their foreign profits, where you've already paid taxes on it, into the country at 0 to 2% because they want it reinvested in their country. I want to do that in America. I want to hire in America. The majority of my employees are still here in America, even though we're the only high-tech company that I'm aware of that's been around for 25 years that still does that. So if you bring back $40 billion, I'll invest in America. I will hire in America. If we don't, unfortunately, I'm going to have to hire in other parts of the world, and we're well on our way to doing that in India and in China and in the UK and in Norway and in Russia. And it is a global economy that we're in, although I'm very proud to be an American, and I'd like to invest the majority of our investments here in this country.
But here's the sticking point. A lot of folks, John, will point back to 2004 and point back to that tax holiday and say the impact on job creation was de minimis. Why will it be different this time?
Well, first of all, the economy did pretty well after that last one. You can argue cause and effect. Cisco hired 1,200 people after the holiday, and we only brought back $1.2 billion. And there may be ways, Poppy, that this can get a compromise. You could bring back the money and apply the money to an infrastructure fund to help build our roads and highways, or you could apply it to extending unemployment. So I think there should be a compromise reached here. It makes no sense to any government leader I talk to in the world with the economic challenges we see not to use that stimulus of $1.4 trillion and to bring it back to this country.